When British forces invaded Egypt in 1882, the world shifted, almost overnight. Imagine Cairo's streets suddenly echoing with the footsteps of foreign soldiers. This wasn't just another chapter in Egypt's long history. It was the start of a brand new era. Let's rewind a bit. Egypt at the time was technically part of the Ottoman Empire, but it was already flexing its own muscles. The country had ambitious rulers, a bustling economy, and most importantly, the Suez Canal, a shortcut between Europe and Asia that everyone wanted to control. But not all was well. Decades of debt and political mismanagement had left Egypt vulnerable. In 1881, Colonel Ahmed Urabi led a revolt. He wanted to end foreign influence and put Egyptians in charge of their own country. The British, worried about their investments, and the Suez Canal, saw this as a threat. So in 1882, they invaded. The British crushed Urabi's forces at the Battle of Tel el-Kebir. Overnight, Egypt went from being a semi-autonomous province to a country under British occupation. Officially, Egypt was still Ottoman, but in reality, British officials called the shots. So what changed? For starters, Egypt's rulers, the Khedives, now answered to British advisors: taxes, trade, education. London had the final say. The British promised reform and stability, but for most Egyptians it felt like their country had been stolen. But here's the twist. This occupation planted the seeds of modern Egypt. The British built railways, modernized the army, expanded the cotton trade. A new Egyptian middle class started to emerge. Doctors, lawyers, journalists, people who would later demand independence. At the same time, resentment simmered. Nationalist movements grew stronger. Egyptians wanted their country back. Over the next decades, protests, strikes, and political debates became part of daily life. It took until 1952 for Egypt to finally shake off foreign rule. But the echoes of 1882 never really faded. The British occupation changed the country's politics, its economy, and its sense of identity. So the next time you hear about Egyptian nationalism or the fight for independence, remember, it all traces back to those fateful days in 1882 when British boots landed on Egyptian soil. This is where modern Egyptian history truly begins. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, hit that subscribe button for more history untangled.